Sebelum tu kita nak tahu nama, year dengan apa ni?
Your CGPA sekarang and GPA.
Okay, so nama Chu Junhan, year tahun 4, CGPA 3.89, tak silap. But my GPA at the recent SEM, it was 3.69. Yeah.
Okay, so our first question, can you share us through your normal study routine for a week?
Honestly, I think these days, because I'm involved in other activities as well, study takes maybe like, if it's the first 7 weeks, I think study takes around 30%. So I just listen to class. For the normal syllabus, I just listen during class, but I don't really do any extra studies. For my assignments, I start doing the ones that would due early, and usually at the first few weeks, it will be more just planning, just because usually I will try to lead the group, and then usually I'll start making sure that things has progress. But usually at that point, I'm still not really that I spend so much time on it yet. So in a week, there's no specific routine. I don't really have a fixed schedule, like Monday do assignment for this, Tuesday do assignment for this. It's usually based on priority. So I just have a checklist of everything that's important. So I just see if I have extra time, okay, then I can work on this assignment. Yeah.
Maknanya ada jadual lah.
Tidak ada. I just wake up, I tengok what's important, and I just buat based on my time. Yeah. So let's say, for example, a lot of things is very important, then I would spend a lot of time that day working on that. Kalau tak ada, then maybe I'll be more relaxed. Yeah. So there's no fixed schedule.
So you lebih suka baca literature slide or reading textbook?
I think textbook is better. Sebab sometimes slides is very simplified. So ideally, if I have the time, I'll read the textbook. But sometimes, to be honest, sometimes sampai maybe week 12 pun belum baca lagi the textbook. So then dah sempat, so I just baca slides je. Yeah. So I would prefer textbook because I think it gives more context. But then sometimes like in my opinion, if you want to do good at the exam, slide dah cukup.
So roughly, what percentage of your study time goes into this activity?
To studying, yeah, I guess like what I said just now, 20%. It depends on when, at what time. Right now, maybe it's like 50%, or maybe 60% now, because a lot of my other commitments are not there anymore. But previously, I think around this week 8, it will be still around like maybe 40%. Then as it goes into maybe week 11, week 12, then it'll be more like 80%.
Okay, you kan selalu buat aktiviti luar kan, join macam-macam club. So how important is this activity for you in your academic success? You rasa dia sangat important ke, atau you rasa you just ikut je untuk memenuhi masa itu?
I think as time goes by, I find the extracurricular activity more important than the results. So I think that's one of the reasons my results semakin menurun lah, because I semakin don't prioritize it. In the past, that was all I did, just studying, get good grades. But these days, I feel like sometimes the assignment, I don't feel like it's too relevant to what I will be doing in the future. So I put more time and effort into the extracurricular activity. As to whether it influenced my academic, it can. Maybe like being able to lead a team, being able to facilitate can be helpful in handling certain group assignments. Being able to handle multiple tasks can help with being handling multiple assignments, knowing certain people can help with doing assignments that need you, let's say, to interview somebody from outside, need you to collaborate with somebody from outside, that can be helpful. Yeah, I think now that I think about it, it is actually quite helpful. But maybe it'll take a bit of your time. Yeah, that might be something that you might struggle with. Yeah.
Start year berapa you start include dalam aktiviti?
So the first extracurriculum activity I joined was year 1, Sem 2. I joined Bersama. I was expo academic, and then after that, the semester after that, year 2, Sem 1, I joined Isaac as well as Bersama. Oh no, and year 1 I was already in Persepsi, but that time they weren't busy yet. So and then during year 3, I was in Isaac and I was in Persepsi, and then year 4 I quit Isaac and I just hit Persepsi. So throughout the whole time I was doing multiple things. I tried to join because I joined different things because I gained different things. Like Bersama, to be honest, you get the cable, you get to know a lot of people. For Persepsi, I get to do what I want. I get to explore a lot. I find a lot of fun in that. In Isaac, I learned a lot in terms of how to run an organization, how to be structured, and how to do things more properly and more systematically. Yeah.
What skill do you think help you perform well academically?
Skills that help me perform well academically. I think critical thinking. And what I mean by critical thinking is, or I don't know if it's critical thinking or not, but it's the skill to be able to understand what people want. So I think to be a good student and to do well academically is different things. I think to do well academically, you need to know, you need to be able to have some sense of what the lecturer wants from this assignment, to be able to infer from the rubrics, to be able to infer from how they would come up with the questions for an exam, and to give them exactly what they want. So I think that's a very important skill that you can learn through always checking with the lecturers, always checking like, hi, like I do my assignment like this, I structure it in this way, are you okay with this? Some lecturers wouldn't give you a feedback, but some lecturers will be, oh yeah, this is good, or like this is not that good, maybe you can change this. Then over time you can know how to predict what the lecturers want to see from a certain assignment, then that can help you get the marks. Yeah. Being a good student, then the skill you need is just passion. You just need to be interested. Yeah. Faham? Okay.
So next, what abilities do you rely on the most as psychology student?
What?
What ability do you rely on the most as psychology student?
Ability to build rapport, ability to facilitate. I think that especially psychology students, we talk to a lot of people. A lot of our activities might involve, like this an interview might involve, even in your group assignment, talking to people, sometimes conducting experiment, you need to explain to the participants everything, a lot of talking. So I think that other than writing skills, that is the most important. If other than that, probably writing and doing research, those two are also very important. But one that I feel like helped me a lot, because writing these days you can ChatGPT, right? Yeah. One thing that you can't really ChatGPT is talking, building rapport, facilitating.
Next, what knowledge areas are the most important in your degree?
What knowledge areas? It's very subjective because it depends on what I care about. I will feel like it's important. So what I care a lot is about people. What I care a lot is about the very practical knowledge. I don't really enjoy like cognitive neuroscience. I don't really enjoy like educational psychology, sometimes it can be very theoretical and I don't see how to apply it. So I like, sorry, the question was what knowledge, right? What knowledge is important? I think the knowledge I found helpful was the basic helping skills, the counseling psychology, and those kind of subjects they're very more hands-on. The reason for that is because I feel like those skills of talking and facilitating is not just applied in counseling setting, but also can be very useful for your own interpersonal life with your friends. Can also be very good with to use in your day-to-day when you professionally. Yeah.
Question 5.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your personal habit to contribute to your success?
It's a habit.
Personal habit.
I think I prioritize work over fun. So that's a habit, maybe. That's something I will do. So say for example, a friend would ajak me go lepak, but I have things to do. Most of the time I'll say no, unless my friend, let's say this is the last time I'll meet him. Because I feel like I feel more anxious when doing a lot of assignments. I want to get it done early. I have a certain standards. I want to get it done. So the habit, how that translates to daily life, maybe it's like I wake up, the first thing I think about is what to do. And what are the responsibilities I need to do. Then that can keep my mind focused that day to carry out the work. Of course, sometimes I procrastinate as well, but most of the time I try to get the work done.
Okay. So, you kan banyak join macam-macam club kan? So, how do you manage your time during a big academic week?
So, I think what I realized in the end is that there's never perfect time allocation. You will never have enough time. So as in, maybe some people will say, oh, if you plan it early, you have enough time and everything will be balanced. In the end, what I realized is what you have to compromise is more important. It's a more relevant skill. So in the end, you won't have enough time and you have to sacrifice certain something. So how you would do that is you would sacrifice your personal time, you would sacrifice your sleep. But if you feel like the academics is not that important to you, then you don't do it. Maybe you sacrifice your grades. Maybe you sacrifice your work. That depends on the person. For me, sometimes I feel like academics is important. Sometimes I feel like my other work is important. Sometimes I don't really care about the work. I just need some sleep. So, in terms of how do I find the time to do all of it, I have to be realistic and sometimes sacrifice some things to get other things done.
Okay. So you dari SEM 1 until this SEM you memang dean list student.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So what helped you to stay motivated or consistent to get a dean list?
This is a difficult question because my motivation has been decreasing. Year 1 to year 3, I got 4 flat. Yeah. But partly out of luck, partly because I was very interested. At that time, still masih very semangat to want to make sure everything A. I think it's the mindset, the expectation I set on myself in terms of what kind of quality of assignments I want to deliver. So maybe for some people, it's okay doing a certain basic research and writing something that they might come out in one day. But for me, it feels like if it's assignment, it has to be thorough. I have certain standards. If I feel like the structure isn't right, I feel like the phrasing isn't cohesive, the whole argument isn't well articulated, then I would make sure to write it again and again until I feel like I'm satisfied, then only I submit. I think that in the end, that is the thing that able to get me a higher grade, because sometimes people are afraid to group with me because they feel like I have high standards. I think which is true sometimes, but I think the high standards is needed to get good grades.
Do you use any study technique like typical Pomodoro or any study tools?
I think it's not necessary for uni, because uni exams are not the biggest, don't carry the biggest marks, and I think uni exams are not difficult enough for me to need those techniques, because uni exams generally they just touch on the very basic concepts rather than go into the very niche things that you have to memorize. Let's say SPM. I think uni exams don't need that. So usually what I'll do is I'll just understand. So I guess the technique is that if I can understand what this chapter is about, and I can explain to somebody what it's about without really trying to read it again, that means that's good enough. And I know I'm ready for the exam. Yeah.
So you tak guna any tools lah?
No, for studying no. For assignment, of course, ChatGPT and other tools. For study, maybe YouTube lah. I guess that's the tool. Sometimes things are complicated. Sometimes the lecture slides is also a bit complicated to understand. So I would just, let's say for topics that are very common like statistics, I would just go to YouTube. YouTube explain it way better. Yeah.
So, what is cabaran yang awak selalu hadap macam and how do you overcome the challenge?
Maybe two things. One is myself, one is other people. So myself as in procrastination. Sometimes a lot of work, right? And no really motivation to do it. Some subjects I feel like quite boring. I don't really want to do it. But I think my sense of urgency and my anxiousness usually outweighs that procrastination. So in the end, I will get it done also. In terms of the other people, sometimes the difficult thing to get Dean's List working with people is that not everybody wants to get Dean's List. So you can't really force people to put the effort that you are putting into the group assignment. So let's say for example you put 100%, the other person only put 10%, because they don't really care about it. But if you just let it be, the grade will average out into like, let's say a B or a B plus. But if you're not satisfied, you can't really change the person. You just have to work harder. You just have to put that 150% so you can cover the other people that are not really working that hard. So I think coming to terms with that is very difficult. But after you are okay with that, I think your life will be, even though you do more work, I feel like mentally you feel better. Yeah.
So for the last question, how do you stay focused when you feel stressed or tired?
When I feel tired, I sleep. If I'm tired, I can't do anything. I just sleep. If I am stressed, if I'm anxious, mentally I'm not really focused, I wouldn't do the work first. I would go to somebody and talk about it or write about it. Sometimes all my thoughts are out already, and I feel satisfied that I can move on to something else. Then only I will work on that thing. Because if I don't, and I just force myself to study, I will study at maybe 30% efficiency, and I'll be wasting my time anyways. So I'll just go, sometimes I go to the counselor, sometimes I go to my friend, sometimes if I nobody, then I just write it down or maybe call my parents. To get everything out, then only focus on what I need to do. Yeah.
So that's all for our interview. So thank you for happiness.
Hello, Madam Lai.
Bye.